Welcome, everyone, to a brand new day. Today is, what, Thursday? Is it already? Oh, snap. Look at that. Where there is a will, there is a way. Will equals way. What does it mean? You see, your will is your intention. Your intention. What is it that you are intending to create in your life? What change are you looking to create in your life? The very fact that you name the change you want to be. Because remember, when you say you want something, all you're doing is wanting to create it. You're not wanting because you're begging and pleading for it. Who knows what's best for you other than what's on the inside? You do. So what we do is you want to create it. You want to create that change in your life. And because you want to create it and you named it, a way is always made. Why is the way made? By way of the law of causation. Because now you create an effect. Your change is the effect. Whatever change that is. If you have a habit this morning that you are displeased with, well, what is a habit? A habit is any thought, word, or action that you do all day, every day in the same way. Tying your shoes is a habit. Writing is a habit. Reading, walking, talking, habits. They are habits. And so, if you find a particular behavior, now how do you find that undesirable behavior? It makes you say, why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep doing it? That is your cue to say, oh, well, I don't like doing that. And then you get out the law of polarity, if that's the law that jumps out at you. Because it will ask you to be honest with yourself. You know, sometimes we like to make concessions and do things because, well, if I don't do this, I won't have that. And we tend to lie to ourselves a little bit. But polarity always asks you to be honest. And it does not judge you. It doesn't say, oh, you're like that, are you? Oh, well, you're not very good. That's not polarity. It doesn't judge. It simply asks you. We're going to say it another way. Remember when it says, what is it that you want to do, right? Because it's going to ask you that as the effect. But it gets you to admit things that you want to actually change. So then it says to you, where are you now? And what things are you doing? I like to write them down. I'm here and I'm doing these things. And when you write them down, then it says to you, where would you prefer to be and what would you prefer to be doing? Well, how do you know what you want to be doing? Look at the list you just wrote. And now you write the corresponding action that creates the change. And when you do that, a way opens up. And you begin to do the new behavior. And you do it. And you do it. And you do it until it becomes your new habit. This is why people tell you you're always recovering. Right? You know, if you've done something that you quit smoking or you quit drinking or drugs or whatever the case may be, you're recovering. Well, why is that? You see, the habit does not go away. Once that neural pathway is set down in the brain, this is why sometimes if something happens, you have to relearn how to do something. Yeah? Because the pathway has been damaged itself. That's why you have to relearn it. But once you set down that pathway, it's always going to be there. Unless you change, you create a new pathway that now what happens there? What happens there is the new pathway that you set down is the new behavior you begin to do. And the reason why you have to be consistent when learning the new thing is so that you don't go back to the old behavior. Because you'll notice something. When we get a little comfortable, we can slip back into our own old way. That's the design. But the beauty of the law is this: you don't have to remain the same. You don't. It gives you the steps to change every single time. You see, the law is always on. It doesn't take a break. It doesn't go on holidays. It doesn't do that. So it shows you what to do and how to do it for your most successful change, is what it does day in and day out. All you get to do, right? Because we think, oh, well, how are you supposed to make the law work for you? It's not that the law works for or against. The law works. It keeps everything in its place. This is why we have night and day. This is why we have winter, spring, summer, fall. That is law, rhythm. It is the law of rhythm. So what do? We go to bed when it's dark, unless you work the night shift, right? But we follow the rhythm. We align with the rhythm. You don't go out walking at high tide, because you'd be swimming then, wouldn't you? Can't be digging for clams at high tide. So you align yourself with the law of rhythm. Now you also have to align yourself with the law of mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation, which means everything starts as a thought. Oh, I'd like to. Oh, that'd be cool if I. Thoughts. You get an idea for something that you want to do, something you want to create, somewhere you want to go. And then what do? You begin to do behaviors that are in alignment with that law. Why? Because they'll take you to the desired outcome. The desired outcome is always going to be there. Cause and effect. You line yourself up with the law. It's not this thing that's foreign. The law is always on. Always. So when you planted your garden and you said, oh, I love watermelon. I like the yellow fleshed watermelon with seeds. When you say, well, that's what I want to plant. Because that's what I want to eat. You see, we always go to the end. You looked at your garden and you said, okay, here's the things I want to eat. That's the end. You've already seen what you want to eat. So then what do? You go out and you get the cause of them. Again, you align yourself with law at all times. So when you go to the garden center and she says, well, what can I help you with today? And you say, well, I'm looking for the seeds for this particular type of melon. And she says, if she has it in stock, she'll say, yes, come with me. And she takes you and you get the seeds. You come home, you sprout them indoors, you put them in the garden. Now, what are you going to get come harvest time? Not a surprise, I'll tell you that. You'll get exactly what you planted. So if your thought predominantly is, oh, I recognize my talents and I use these, I'm really good at what I do. How can I be of more benefit to myself? Because remember, that seed you planted with that watermelon does not just grow one watermelon. It grows many watermelons. You're going to have to give some away because you can't eat them all, right? So the thought that you are predominantly having in your head about your talents, you're always honing your craft and your skill, you are not the only one that benefits. It goes out into the rest of the world because you go out and you interact with people and you take who you are with you, the seeds that you are, the fruit that you are. And it causes something to happen to others, right? Just like we partake in who they are, the seeds that they plant. So this is why people like Neville Goddard would tell you, think highly of yourself. This is why the scripture says, whatever things are good, think on these things. Why? Because the universe is a mental creation. So whatever you're thinking about predominantly, and we do it naturally. My son asked me yesterday, he goes, Mom, am I consistent? I said, well, you do play that game every day, don't you? He says, yeah. I said, you are consistently playing that game. Every time you're done your schoolwork, that's the game you play. So yes, you are consistent. And he said, but where else can I be consistent? I said, well, since you're asking, chore day is always a helpful day to be consistent. You pick up your mess, put them where they belong. And I said, all you have to do is apply the same thing with the game you play. You play it, well, then you pick up your things. Easy as pie. He says, okay, I'll try. I said, we don't try. Do you try to play the game? He goes, no, I play it. I learned how to play it and I continue to practice it. And I said, this is the same thing that applies. It's not woo-woo. It's not magic. It is law. We are already consistent. And you know what makes consistency easier? A couple of things. One, you care about the thing you're doing. And two, it is fun. It is fun. You know what makes it fun? You care. This is why your will is important. This is why your will is important. You're the one, because somebody asked this question the other day on a Reddit forum. They said, well, I keep looking at the 3D all the time, because that's one of the big phrases in the manifestation world, the 3D. And I can't seem to change it. And I'm like, but the 3D, the law, is always on. You are the one, right? Because creation happens the same way every time. A projection goes out, substance comes back. A projection goes out, substance comes back. A projection goes out and substance comes back. So that is law, right? How do you align yourself with that? The projection, which is the image, which is the thing that you want to create, you have to project it outward. Meaning the idea starts in your mind, but it does not remain there. So when it goes out, all the necessary components that are required to bring form back to you will come together, which means, hey, call this person. Hey, you're looking at this. Hey, go here. Or your phone's ringing. You should answer that. You're going to want to talk to them. They look like coincidences, but they are not. They are the effect of the thing you projected outward. So to look at the 3D is showing you what's in your mind. That is the law of correspondence. As within the mind is what you will experience on the outside. This is law. So to line up with it, what are you going to project? Your will, your intention to create. This is how we do it on a daily basis. We are already doing it. When you say, as you're sitting there, I wonder what I should eat today. Well, I don't really know what I feel like. And the minute you say, I don't know what I feel like, you're like, I really don't know what I feel like. But the minute you make a choice, you see what you're going to make for supper or breakfast. It formulates itself based upon the choice. The choice is the image, your intent, your will. And because you've projected that will, you have to do it. It'll come back to you and you go, oh, snap. That's what I should do. That's what I should eat. That's what I feel like eating. And thus you eat. You're thirsty? Same thing. It's the same thing. It's a feedback mechanism. A signal is sent from the brain to the stomach. This is how it happens. And then you get up and you go eat something. It is law. It is rhythm every day. You see, we keep looking for fancy schmancy things, when in actuality, they're quite simple. They follow. They follow law every time. Let's take a quick moment to welcome everyone to the space today. Meep and Jeff, I see you, my beautiful friends here on Twitter. Welcome to the space. It is always lovely to see you. Fan base. Sheikah, Smoking, Miss McQueen, Zola. I see you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the love. Yes, thank you. Who's on Facebook? I do believe Indy's there. And YouTube, we have Cyber, the better man, David. Yes, I'm missing lots of people this morning, but they're part of the replay gang. Yes, and for all the others who have not made themselves known in the chat, I see you also. Cyber, is correspondence instant? In some things, yes. For instance, with gravity, causation and correspondence are very similar, if you think about it, right? But yes, correspondence is instant, you know. For instance, let's say this. If you have the habit of arguing in your head, oh dear Lord, guilty, right? If you have that habit, because we're always having a conversation with ourselves, right? So if it's a good conversation, you encounter people, and that'll be a good conversation there. But you see, if you are having an argument in your head, right? You're going to go somewhere and you're going to encounter someone that you're going to have to argue with. Why? Why is that not a coincidence? Because when you're busy arguing, you take a particular physiological stance in your body. You have a physical reaction in your body if you're arguing in your head. You just do. And so then when somebody else goes and somebody else is passing you by and you happen to bump shoulder, hey, watch where you're going, dumbass. That's what happens, right? We end up having this thing. But it also works in the opposite direction, all by way of vibration. Because we think for some reason that love and hate are opposites. No, they are the same. It is simply a matter of vibration that tells you which one of those things you're looking at. Because if you move, you'll move yourself from hatred to strong dislike. You know, oh, strong like. And all of a sudden, oh, I like you. I can tolerate you. And all you've done was move. Move what? Your thought. We do it all day, every day. We are governed by law. We live according to it. So in some instances, yes. You know, if you, I tell my boy all the time, you know, you do something, something happens. That's instant. Sometimes you don't see the instant that it happens, but it does. Some things are further reaching than others. For instance, let's look at generational things. They are causes, and the effects end up way down the line for the youngsters. Way, way, way down the line. Like generational wealth, for instance. Right? Somebody did something way back then to ensure that the other members in the family, all the way down the line, would still be able to reap the benefits, the effects of their cause. So some things are instant. We have a delay, but some things are instant. Others take a little bit of time because we have that here, right? And this is why when you are walking and projecting your will, your intention, this is why when you hear people say, you've got to believe you've already got it. You've got to believe you've already got that thing that you want to create. Why? It is the law. You know, so long as you're the one that you got that idea in your head and you're like, oh, I have an idea to do this. And you begin to plan it out and you write down the things. Now, why would you write down the things? The same reason we set an alarm in the morning. We expect to get up. So then if you say, I need a new job or I need a raise at work, do you want it or do you want to create it? You want to create that experience for yourself. So the minute you say, you know what, a raise at work would be beneficial for me, it is done. Now, certain behaviors, certain things will happen to you that take you along the pathway that say, that confirm. So if you know that you're a great employee or you're a great entrepreneur, if you know these things about yourself, you begin to get new ideas. Oh, I'll offer this. Or something comes up at work and you say, oh, I'm good. I'll apply for that. Next thing you know, you get a promotion. It always starts with a thought. And a way is made when you choose the thing you want to experience. It works for grocery shopping. You say, you know, I need a few things that I'm missing in the cupboard, like I need more flour. This girl's been on a roll, baking up a storm. So I'm out of flour. So what do I write on my grocery list? I need to bake some more, so I need flour. But you see, I kick it up a notch. I buy organic sprouted flour and I say, you know what? I'm going to need me a sale today. Because probably I want more than one bag. Not the rate I'm going. And you know, a funny thing, every time I go, there's a sale. Not because there's a coincidence, but I'm going for the flour. You know, Neville says, the tones of reality, it would have happened anyway, that sale. Sure. I'm sure it would have happened anyway. But I don't go because of the sale. I go because I want that thing to help me do what it is I'm doing. But then when I get there, I'm like, this is nice. And I always giggle and I say, oh, what a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I said that's what I wanted. And it just so happens that it is there. So you see, where there is your will, your intention, there is a way. A way is made. Cause and effect, correspondence. These are the things that happen. Peachy, my beautiful darling, I have not seen you in such a long time. Welcome, my sweet friend. Cyber, if only there was a way to clean the slate of those lagging past negative imaginings. I'm on the ball now, but it seems like I still get into shitty situations from time to time due to my old mindset. Now, Cyber, this is beautiful. Let's expand on that because it is your will. Now, here's something for you. There are 8 billion people on the planet, and we are always parallel to them. We are parallel to them because an opportunity presents itself to you, right? You don't always have to accept. You don't always have to accept the experience that comes, right? Because you're running parallel to people. So if you are, that's why I say that inner conversation is important to have. Because if you find that you're a little bit cranky, catch that. Why? Because then you will prevent yourself from crossing into a shitty situation. Because you can see it now. When you see, I'm in that frame of mind. No, I'm over here. Because you know what happens. You know what happens when we allow ourselves to go in a particular thought or frame of mind. You know, because some people will say, Oh, it's not your mindset that determines anything. Listen, that's all right. You can take a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. The only person who knows when they're thirsty is the horse. But never underestimate the power of a planted seed. And do you know why? Because some situations, well, all of them really, you get to choose. Will you engage or will you just keep it moving? When you make time for something, when you say, I got time today, you'll find things to give your time to. We're not at the whim or the mercy of life. We get to decide. Yes, I know some things, right? We look at our situations and you go, oh my God, I really need something to change. What do you want to change? I remember Neville saying, Cyber, you can help me out here. I remember Neville saying, things look like they come from the outside. But you see that inner conversation? Everything goes by way of law. That experience that you get came into your world. Why? You put it there. But you see, I know sometimes that is hard to walk with. It's hard to walk with that. Well, I did that. I know there's some things I look back on, I'm like, wait, that was my fault. But you see, when you look at things by way of fault and blame, then it is hard. You know why? Because nobody wants to be blamed. And that's why each experience we have is a learning one, not a blame. Oh my God, you're so dumb. This is all your fault. Or you did this to me. Or my favorite line, how dare you? Right? We get caught up in those feelings of blame and like thoughts of blame. Use it as, yes, Cyber, you must use it as an opportunity to tell you you must have feedback. If you put your hand, if you didn't know your mother was just cooking and you put your hand on that stove, yikes! What happened? You had feedback. To do what? To move. To change. These are why these experiences are there. They're not there to beat you. They're not there to blame you. No, they're there to say, hey, is this where you want to be? Is this what you want to be doing? That's what they're for. But because we get caught up in the emotion, you see, emotions are part of the feedback mechanism in the body. A whole chemical cascade happens, right? A whole cascade of emotions. These chemical changes in the body happen. So, what is that feedback telling you? It's showing you where you are now in your mind. Just like when you remember a song and you start singing it, you're in your subconscious. It's a memory. We live our lives from those memories. When you tie your shoes, when you tied them this morning, you didn't have to learn how to tie them. You remembered how to tie your shoes. So you see, if we could just relinquish blame and fault, we would learn from the experience. We would put them into their right place. Like I tell you, if someone is insulting you, that's coming out of their mouth, their body. It's them. Now, if you're real quick with it, you scan yourself, right? You scan yourself and go, oh, what did I do to bring that on? Just scan yourself real quick. This is how we learn. When someone says to you, you know, this behavior, like when you're teaching your children, you say, look, this behavior right here. You see, when you do this, right? You teach. You teach. But we're so quick to reprimand, to punish. We teach. If you teach, they'll make better decisions, you know. Why? Because then they'll constantly be, what effect do I want here? What effect do I want? It comes from learning, not punishment. Yes, cause and effect, right? But these things are happening in our daily lives. Yes, cyber. Cyber says, that is beautiful. Just use it as an opportunity to revise and get back on track. Yes, you get back on track. It's quite like your GPS when she says to you, rerouting, rerouting because you made a wrong turn, rerouting. She gets you back on track. That's how come you know. You have to see what you are doing to know if it corresponds with what you say you want. So if you're starting a business and you have your business plan and you're following it and something goes a little bit awry, you look at the plan and you go, oh, that's not what I want. But over here is you modify the behavior to get you back on track. You don't sit in the corner and go, God, I'm so dumb. You don't do that. We learned that bad behavior. We learned it. Cyber says shit is a fertilizer after all. It is. It's showing you. And this is how you create your boundaries, what you will not allow and what you will allow in your life. Ruby, hello, sweet girl. I don't even have the bowl, Cyber. The bowl is over there. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. Ruby just became a member. But I trust these things make sense to you today. When you go through life and you look at things and you have experiences, use them for what they are. Experiences are a way for you to correct yourself, not reprimand or beat yourself up, but to get yourself back to where you say you wanted to be. It gets you on the way. Because remember, your will is your intention, right? I was just going to tell you something, but that train will come back. It will. You know, we spend so much time sometimes fretting. We do. But look at your life. And if you said, listen, I'm supposed to be here, not because George says you should be there. George's idea of success is not your idea of success. You see, we have an association of what we think success is, but success is individual. If you, listen, if all the bread is gone in 2 days, I was successful. Because that means we ate it and we had a good time eating it. That is a success to me, to bake and to love it. But your idea of success is not mine. I cannot compare mine to yours because we'll end up with dissatisfaction every time. This is how we make ourselves vulnerable, to be preyed upon. When you look to the outside to say, well, this person's doing it better than me. My grandfather taught me something. He said, don't let, I have to say it to you in Bajan dialect and then I'll say it to you in English. Don't let a dollar make you a fool. Do not let a dollar make a fool of you. Yeah? So somebody can come along and do something flashy and you say, well, they must be successful. This is why filters exist on photos. Because we're caught by flashy things as if we're crows. or magpies. No, this is why you've got to know you. Who are you? What do you want to accomplish in your own life? Where is your intention? What do you want for yourself? If you are guided by that, nobody can come along and flash their money and make it rain, and you say, oh, but I want to be just like them. Then you don't know what that entails. And then when you get there, you're like, but that's not what I wanted. Of course it wasn't what you wanted. But it is design. We want things. We want to create things because that is the nature. You must be secure in your own self to look in the mirror and say, I bring something to this world. I have gifts and talents, and I want to use them. And the minute you decide and you choose to use your gifts and your talents, a way comes up. You get an idea for you to bring what you do to the world. This is what I tell you day in and day out. The law is there and it guides. It builds your confidence. It builds your esteem. What is your self-esteem? Your concept of yourself. So that when you look into the mirror, you don't hate what you see. You look in the mirror and you say, I've got good qualities. I'll tell you. Remember that story, Cyber? Remember the story when Neville spoke about the thief? The thief and the victim have to come together. Correspondence, causation. They have to come together. So if you find that you are walking around and you are beating yourself up, I'm not good enough. But somebody will come along and whisper sweet nothings to you. And because you want to feel that way, you want to feel special, you're taken in. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because it's causation. This is why I encourage you every day, know who you are. Know what you will tolerate. Get some boundaries. The law is the truth. So that when you look through the lens of the law, a lie is blatantly obvious. And then you are not easily deceived. Oh, they took me for everything I had. They didn't take it. You gave it. This is why you must know you. Your will. What is your will? What is your intent? Your intention? Is it to learn? Is it to grow? These are the things, right? If we take that time, spend time with yourself. How do you get to know somebody? You spend time with them. That's how you get to know them. So how do you get to know you? Spend some time with yourself. Go for a walk. Read. Well, if you don't like to read, listen to a book then. I know all about that. Right? This is what I'm going to give you an example of it. Of getting to know yourself without judgment. I tell you this story all the time. My report card. Angela talks too much. Asks too many questions. For years, that was a shortcoming. Until I decided, no, wait a minute. I talk a lot. I'm going to do what I love. And then I realized that some people don't like to read, but they like to listen to books. And what did I do? What I was going to do anyway, talk. So now I narrate books. It is that simple. I still have to get up and narrate the book. But where there is a will, there is a way. You have gifts and talents that you should be using. But you see, because we've allowed someone to say, talks too much, asks too many questions, then we shy away from what's naturally inside of us. And then we say, why won't my life change? Because you've allowed someone to steal something from you. Well, take it back. Take it back today. Your will, the power of your willpower, the power of your intention. The willpower is how much you care about that thing you're creating. Your will. How much do you care about the thing you say you're creating? How much do you care about you? You. You must care about you. Why? Because when you care about you, you move through the world differently. You behave differently. You behave as if you value yourself. Funny thing that, when you value you, you have to see the value. It's mirrored back to you. Yes. Spend some time developing your will, practicing your intention. What do I want to create? That's how you practice your will, knowing what you want. Don't be wishy-washy. You know why we're wishy-washy sometimes? Because instead of answering the question, what do you want? We instead, I don't know if that's possible. I want it, but there's no but other than the one you're sitting on. If you want to accomplish something, that is your intention, that is your will to accomplish this, then a way is going to be made for you to do it. The doors will open to you. Windows even. Because that's what you said you wanted. So now you'll get the experiences that confirm that. You say, oh my God, what an opportunity. Let me take advantage of that opportunity. But you've got to know. You can't say, I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. The minute you name it, it is possible. You are always going to be a success. It is law. Every cause has its effect. So if your cause is getting out there and doing what you love, then what is the effect? You'll get to do more of it. Because that's what you love. So your will today, your intention, spend some time with yourself. Get to know you, what you like, what you don't like. Question these things about yourself. It's not that you're trying to become a better person. There's nothing wrong with you. You just want to have certain experiences. So modify the thought to match the experience you want to have. Set your intention the way you set your alarm. And when the alarm goes off, you get up and you act. So when you see something that comes along, you get up and you move accordingly. This is why I tell you every day, use the law. Mentalism, the all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. Correspondence, as within, so without. As above, so below. Vibration, everything moves. Nothing stands still. It vibrates between two poles, polarity. Not that they are opposite in their nature. They are the same in their nature. They're just opposite by way of position. One on the left and one on the right. And that vibration between the poles creates a rhythm, an ebb and a flow. Causation. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause. Well, gender. A projection of the will, a projection of your intention is masculine into your subconscious mind. So you can get the experience back. The experience, feminine. The subconscious mind is feminine. It just accepts. That's how come you can store the information. It just holds the information. So that you can do what? Use it. That's why it stores information. So you can use it. So, what information are you storing in there? It better be of use to you. And if you see that there's something not of use, how did it get there? By repetition. So start to repeat the behaviors of the new thing you want to put in there so you can use it on autopilot. That is the beauty of the law. It is neither friend nor foe. It's not a friend to the stars, but it regulates them too. The sunshine is not its friend. It regulates when you see the sun and when you don't see it, day and night. So you see, we have everything we need to move us through this world. And yes, we will encounter things that are unsavory. But with the law, you can blast right through it. Why? Because you see things for what they are, and you apply the law to help you. Because if you don't know you have the law, you feel powerless to change. You feel stuck. But as we all know, everything vibrates, everything moves. Ebb and flow, so you can't be stuck. You can always change. So set your intention. What do you want to change? What do you want to create in your space? What behavior do you want to do instead? We get up and we practice it every day, all day, until it becomes a memory so that you just do it on autopilot. So that tells you something about autopilot and habits. They are there to make you successful. So put the right habit in so that you will successfully do the thing you say you want to do. And this is why I love you. And I tell you every day, you have what it takes. You have it. Now, what is your will? Exercise your will, your intention. Don't we say that? Beauty Queen Onika. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you. And thank you for being a member of Beauty Queen Onika. What does it mean? Your will is what directs your experiences. That. Know that you have the power to do that. It's not some woo-woo thing. It's not magic. It is law. You want to make a change in your life, get up and decide what that change is and use everything at your disposal. Read. Go for walks. Learn. Learn. Because without knowledge, what does that scripture say? My people perish for a lack of knowledge. When you don't know, you don't know. So then, what is our mandate? Learn. Because when you learn, you can change. This is what it is. This is why the design is to keep one noscient, meaning keep one not knowing. Why? Because if you don't know, well, anything can be done to you. But if you know, because you've learned, you can say, when you go and you still use cash, right? And you get your change back, You count your change. You know you're right. Why? Because you learned how to count money so that you don't get ripped off. You learn. You're not learning just because you don't want to be ripped off. You're learning so that you know for yourself. That's why you learn. Not to prevent, but you learn so that you're always in the know. So you can choose based upon your knowledge. This is this is how we live our lives naturally. We make choices based upon what we know. That's why it's helpful to know what you know. So take every opportunity to learn. And you know how you do it? The thing that is intriguing to you, the thing you want to know, it's cause and effect. It is cause and effect. You learn what it is you are intrigued with. And you will find that this is why they tell you, do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Why? Because when you do that, the time just flies by and it doesn't feel like work, even though you know you're working. If I spend 5 hours narrating, it goes by in an instant. But I still had to do it. But I have fun doing it. Take pleasure in those things that you learn. Have fun with them. Look around in the world. There's so much ho-hum already. You want to add to that? No. You want to enjoy. Do what you enjoy. Anyway, that's what I will leave you with on such a lovely day. You know where to find me on YouTube so we can get the last remnants of gravy from the bowl. Meep, Jeff, thank you for being here. You know I love you. And I appreciate your time every single time that you're here. Much love to you on Twitter. Countdown initiated. 5, 4. Twitter is closed. 3. Fan base. Triple. 777. I see you. I see you. Welcome to the space. Flo smiles. Coco love. Smoking. Peachy. It is good to see you. Slide into my DMs, Peachy. I need an update. Miss McQueen. Zola. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for the love. You know I appreciate you. And also, remember, know what it is you want to create. Your intention. Set your intention. Fan base. I love you all. And I will see you soon, my beautiful friends. Much love. 2. Here we are. YouTube. Just you and I. Facebook. It's just us, y'all. Anywho, I wanted you to remember to set that intention. And the intention is not what you are begging for, not what you are hoping for. You don't have to hope because there is causation, there is correspondence. Hope need not be required. You know you have the blueprint of what you are creating. Well, follow the inclinations and the intuition that take you along the pathway to your success of bringing about that thing. They always show themselves. They show themselves as opportunities. And you say, oh, that's exactly what I was looking for. And you take the opportunity, you expand on the opportunity, and because you took the opportunity, see, the opportunity is the effect. And because you took that effect, you create a new cause. So now you keep moving yourself along the pathway of where you say you want to go. Sugar visions. Oh, I see you. But yes, take the time to get that part. Get your will, your intention, which means you have to know what it is you want to do. There's no more of this, I don't know. Maybe it's possible, maybe it's not. I just don't know. This person said, or that person said, "Mm," as my father always says, man, know thyself. If you know who you are, nobody can come along and tell you who you are. You know who you are. We teach children things so they can survive. And we allow them. We allow their natural selves to emerge. That's what we do with them. You begin to see their personality. I love you all, and I appreciate you. I truly do. And it is why I do what I do. Because it is important that we develop our will, our intention. And to develop that, you need to know who you are and what you're willing to accept. And if you see something that you didn't like, that you accepted, you don't have to keep accepting it. You can change. You can change your mind. Yes. Change your mind, change your life. Where's Emanon? Because his line is always, oh, you got to put that on a shirt. But I trust that today made sense and that you will know where there is a will, there is a way. Cause and effect. Will, way. The cause is your intention, and the way is the effect. Cause and effect. Can't have one without the other. The cause makes the effect. The effect makes the cause. It does. So you can't have one without the other. You cannot have a problem without a solution, because within every problem is the seed of the solution. What is the problem? No money. So what's the problem? No money? Where's the solution? You have skills, you can monetize. You have skills. If you don't have skills, what skill would you like to develop? There's technical colleges everywhere. Right? Develop yourselves. Mold and shape yourselves. That's what we're doing. We're the sculptor as well as the clay. Right? So I trust that made sense. If not, you know where to find me. You can slide into my DMs. My link tree is below there in the description. Click on the little envelope, and that will allow you to send an email, or you can follow me on any of the social media platforms and DM me through there. Remember, law school is ongoing. There on page 7 for that chapter. And listen, when you learn the law, so you memorize, you recognize, and you utilize. Period. And you change your life every step of the way. And many of you have got such great testimonies for how you've applied the law and seen the changes in your life. We have to have another one, another testimonial live stream for sure, where you come up and you share what things you've changed in your life and how your life is going. Right? We'll have another one soon. All right, my beautiful friends. Let us go forth into the world and do what? Recognize what your will is. What is your intention for your life? And are you doing the things? You notice how we don't float across the bridge of incidents? We walk across it. We have to do things. We do things. Not because you go out and look for the things, but the things present themselves so you can do them. You still have to do them to get you from where you are to where you want to be. You do them. It's called work, 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 work. That's what it's called. Work. But because you enjoy it, it's not work. It is pleasurable. And that's why you have fun. Why is my stomach growling? I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it. Feed me, Seymour, is what it says. But I trust today. I trust that you will set your intention for your life. When you look at the things that you think that are, ooh, that could be better, what do you want it to be? And begin to make the changes within you that will bring about the change on the outside. You'll know what to do. Intuitively, we always know. And that's also what happens to you when you use the law. Your intuition grows. You begin to discover things you didn't even know you had. Oh, indeed you do. That's just what happens. Because the law is like this white hot fire that burns. And it burns away the illusion. Especially if you say, well, I'm not good at anything. What I have can't be monetized. What I do. Oh, yes. You see? The law will burn away all of that illusion, and you'll begin to see your real self, and you'll start to say things like, oh, I am good at that. I'm going to do it. Oh, I'm good at this. I'm going to do that too. And you begin to learn and see different things about yourself. And you'll do it all without judgment or blame or fault. Right? Because casting the blame keeps the stuff alive. It makes you keep thinking about painful things instead of working and healing them. What do I mean when I say healing them? When you apply the law on that pain, it's like aloe on a sunburn. The unforgiveness that you hold, it only eats us up. You got to remember, if you're walking around with thoughts of I don't like you, you walk around with thoughts like that, it changes your behavior, it changes you. And then your experiences will show you what you now believe of yourself. So allow yourself to change. Because you are beautiful. Well, I don't see that. Allow the law to burn away the dross so that you can see it. Because it is there. Not because I say so. Look around you. The law only creates beauty, but it is the forgetting of the law that causes us to not be beauty. And it's an easy fix. You know it. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Whew, glass house. Right? I love you all. And I will see you soon. Yay. We have a series starting. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a live stream series. It'll be how-tos. How to fix this using the law. That's coming. So I'm just trying to decide if I want to do a video or a live stream. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. Yeah. so that things are easier, you know? Like a Cliff Notes. That's what it is. So watch for that, and they'll just be live streams. I'm just really, because you know my personality, chatty Cathy. So it probably will be, right? Either that or I'll do one and do a live stream to follow, like a video and then do a live stream to follow. Perhaps. Two things. We'll see. But anywho, I love you all. Go forth and let us enjoy the beauty of what we are and practice. Practice developing and honing and shaping your intention, your will, because where there is a will, there is a way. Much love to you, my beautiful friends. Much, much, much love.